as I mentioned, what we're starting with is with these group of patients that have both mutations, including the CXCR4 mutation, because we're hopeful that we can, deliver something game-changing for them. They're still waiting. I think the BTK inhibitors haven't delivered what we had hoped they would. So our patients in our study were what we are calling double mutation patients with the CXCR4 gain of function. And it's a phase 1b study. So we were dose escalating and exploring a dose in combination with ibrutinib. And what we're really excited to see is already what we're seeing is a hallmark of cancer improvement. So as I mentioned, there's some serum protein levels that are very high with these patients and create all these downstream sequelae. Even in the first few months, we saw it drop quite precipitously. And in fact, one of our patients had a normal level of the serum protein. So it was almost an order of magnitude drop in just a few months. So that's a huge sort of win for this particular patient. We have 8 patients in total that were on the study and that we presented our data on. So the other patients are earlier in the treatment cycle, but we're seeing a lot of them, all of them actually have nicely dropped. And then we're just kind of continue to dose escalate them to see how deeply we can get them all to respond. Yeah, so thankfully we have already some at least minimum understanding of safety, and we have some exciting hints of activity in terms of dropping IgM levels. What we want to do with the next set of data is to continue to dose, because we haven't reached our top dose yet, which is good news. Some of these patients actually might even get higher or more profound benefits from the drug as we escalate in dose. So by the end of the year, we'll have our final dosing data in terms of maximum tolerated dose and safety. And then also by the end of the year, we should have data on a much larger number of patients in terms of response rates. So I mentioned this drop in serum IgM is a good hallmark of disease improvement. Ultimately, there's a few other criteria that one needs to hit to get something called a response. In Waldenström's, a response as defined by the FDA and by doctors is to have 2 or 3 boxes checked to achieve the there's partial responses, very good partial responses, and then CRs are complete responses or cures. So there's these different steps through a response rate. So by the end of the year, we'll be able to measure that type of definition across the number of patients, probably at least the dozen or so that we expect to enroll in the trial by the end of the year. And what that will enable us to do is to really figure out, how much are we improving over standard of care? How can we then design a registration trial that might support ultimately getting the drug approved for patients, and to create the basis of data to have a robust discussion with the FDA so that we can kind of carve the right path that we're both agreeing to and could find something meaningful for patients.